Hey, what's up? All right, so the last 2 days-ish, I've been working on this MCP client sort of thing. Is it Jarvis? I don't know. Probably not. But yeah, I've just been kind of tired of the existing clients not doing what I want them to. And so I'm just gonna build it myself to make sure that like what I think is possible, and at least understand the problems that are in there, and ultimately like the primary output of all of this is a demo that demonstrates exactly how I think things are supposed to work. Um, and then potentially I will use this in my workshops as well. And so I've got some interesting constraints there too. So yeah, a couple of things. Oh, what's up, Taryn? Hey, a couple of things that I'm thinking about with this is um, I want to limit the cost associated with running this for anybody, and so there are in-browser LLMs that like people don't have to install Olama or anything, nothing on their computer. They just open it up in a browser, and it does download like gigabytes worth of model data. But they do technically work. They're pretty bad models. They don't work super well. And so I will probably also support adding keys to other models and stuff, or labs. But acting with that constrained environment seems like a pretty reasonable idea, because if I can make it work with those simple models, then that demonstrates something as well. So like I said, I've been working on this for the last couple days. Today I'm going to start it over from scratch now that I know a little bit more. I think I'm kind of biting off a lot more than I probably should at this stage, because I want to support like a really relatively complex interactions in the chat interface. Ultimately, I think it'd be really nice if this wasn't even a chat interface, but we'll take this a step at a time. So yeah, I'm gonna start it over from scratch. We're gonna have testing as a like not exactly test-driven development, but a little bit. I've done a lot with coming up with big prompts and trying to get the LLM to do it for me, and that's worked pretty well. But I always get to a point where it's not working, and I don't really understand why. Like I didn't build it myself, and so I can't diagnose problems very well, and the LLM is not very helpful. But a couple of things are for sure true. If I want to support really complex things like being able to track model loading and have the user queue up messages while that's happening, and being able to do like interruptions and tool calls and all of that stuff, then I need a really, really great state machine for that. And so XState is absolutely the solution for this. I have built a couple of them so far, but they were all pretty much just built by the LLM with instructions by me, and here are the docs, like go do this, please. That has worked like okay, but again, like it gets to a point where it's not quite working, and I'm not sure why. And so this time I'm going to I'm going to have like kind of a prompt, but I'm actually just going to try adding that prompt as a code comment at the top of the file, and then I will just work on it myself, piece at a time, and use tab complete for stuff rather than just prompting the LM like do this thing for me. I'm gonna write most of the code and review every little piece carefully, which I wasn't really doing very much. And last night I was like, well, what happens if I just open up the floodgates, use the best model everybody says, Opus is like the thing, and use max mode and everything. And it turns out that just because you have a fancier, nicer model with huge context windows and stuff doesn't mean you can get away with really poorly worded prompts and stuff. So yeah, I spent like $20 to learn that lesson. So I won't be doing that again. Yeah, anyway, I'm kind of actually, you might notice I'm kind of stalling because I am waiting for a video export to be done, just less than a minute left. And then I can get my computer set up and you can see this. So anyway, yeah, just finished. Let me get that uploaded, and then that will take, how long? How big is this thing? It's kind of a big file. Oh, it's 1.29 gigabytes exported from ScreenFlow. It's 28 minutes long of 4K. So my upload speed is remarkably fast. It is done. Wow, that was cool. Okay, so let me do that. Let me send this message. And then let me... I just realized I didn't have the multi-stream chat open, so sorry about that. And there we go. Okay. Also, my door is open because it's kind of hot in here. Okay. Yeah, whatever. That's fine. Let me save this and close that. And is this done now? No? Okay. Whatever. So let's bring over, I'm calling it Aster right now. Whoops. Okay. We'll see if I end up changing the name later. So first thing that we're going to do, this is chat old. That's chat old 2. Here's a new chat old. I've actually deleted a couple of chat olds as well. Okay, I'm going to close the door. Actually, I've been standing all morning, so I'm going to sit down also. Okay. Let's see. You know what? I don't need this. They're all. It's nice to have the files for reference, so we're gonna keep them around. We're gonna actually delete this guy, or this one. And I think the search engine itself is actually pretty good. So we're going to keep it the way it is. What's interesting about this is the proper way to do an MCP search engine is with embeddings and that sort of thing, and a registry and whatnot. I will get there eventually, but right now all that I'm doing is I'm using an in-browser model to say, here are all the tools, here's the user's query, what are the tools that are relevant. And so far, it actually works pretty well. So that's interesting. And then, of course, the tools are just hard-coded. I need to wire it up to an MCP server as well. So that's some more stuff that needs to happen. But yeah, that actually works pretty well. So it's just the machine for managing the chat. Probably the least interesting part for most people, because most people would just use the use chat hook from the AI module, which is cool, except I can't do that with an in-browser model. They're expecting to like make network requests, and I can't do that. Yeah, okay, cool. So coming over here to this one, yeah, this is a previous attempt as well. So we're going to delete this guy. I'm going to rename this to old. And have this pull in old. And this pulls in old. All right. And then our routes. Yeah. Okay, so then we got, this is complaining about something. Yeah, this is also old. There we go. and type gen. Let's also do a chat.tsx. Okay, this should all pass. Like this should still work. So, all right, great. So, starting chat machine.ts and chat machine.ts or test.ts. Okay, here we go. New handcrafted machine. Just push that. Am I planning to save the stream? Yeah, I never go and delete this stuff, so it's on YouTube forever. I think X holds it forever. Twitch does not, so that's interesting. Hold on a second. I gotta check out something really quick that I do not want you to see. I gotta reply to this person. Okay, let me, okay, very good. Ah, great. Let me see what you saw. I do not think this is a problem. So, yeah. Okay. How much is going to be done by AI versus by hand? I want to try and avoid just jumping into here and prompting it to do stuff because I've tried that 3 times now, and it just hasn't led to me understanding what's going on very well. So I want to do most of it, but I'm going to be using tab complete like a lot. And in fact, I used ChatGPT earlier to write out the requirements for this, and it did a really good job. So now I'm going to ask it, could you, let's see, I'm going to be coding this up myself in an editor. Could you please format this nicely in a code comment, make it phased, and have the current phase be 1. We'll see what it does with that. So I described in natural language. Here, I'll give you my original prompt that I gave to ChatGPT yesterday. So it looked like this. Go ahead and pause the video if you want to read the whole thing. Yeah, it worked pretty well. And then it asked me a couple clarifying questions, and I answered them, and we ended up with finally this. So phase 1, current phase, state machine logic. The goal is to build the X state machine thing. Hook up UI. Oh, okay, let's actually let's break down things to Actually, could you break out the state machine logic build to smaller phases? That's just a lot to do at once. I'm also going to be writing tests for this as we go, and I want to do test-driven development with this. So please give me an outline of test titles that I should implement one at a time. I think that actually will be the most useful thing that that we'll get from this. Okay, here we go. So let's grab that guy. We'll start with this, and then we'll come back later. Okay, so test starts in idle state. All right, so we're gonna bring in test from vtest. We're gonna bring in create machine or chat machine and create actor from x state. Okay, and then let's pull up our test and actually chat machine. Okay, we're gonna prefix that with old. Actually, you know what? Let's just delete. I just don't want this to run. So there we go. That should work. Export that. Okay, so now it can be imported. Might not be type safe, but it can be imported. Okay. Node test suites. Did I not save it? Or did I? I thought, yeah, there we go. Didn't save it. All right, it's passing. Great. Can I move this over to that side? I'm sure I can. I don't really want to. It's fine. Okay, starts in an idle state. Actor, create actor, chat machine. I think I do need to provide that. Actor start. Get snapshot value to be idle. All right, so that should fail. So coming over here. And let's try, I'm just going to close extra windows. So I just got these two. Okay. Current test. All right, so let's import setup from xstate. Okay. No, we're not gonna. See, that's the thing. We're not getting into that. Create machine. No states yet. Idle. All right. Whoops. States. Idle. Boom. Passing. Okay. Good. And I completely understand this now. So that is great. Check. Right. Next test. Test. Transitions. Yada yada. All right, so create actor, here's my chat machine, start it, send the load model. We want to provide the model ID and then expect the state to be loading model. All right, new update available. Heck yeah, I want to install it right now. It could fix problems that I don't even know about. All right. Looking good, Sensei. Thank you. That's nice of you to say that. Goodness. Close that. There we go. Let's see. Okay, good. Inline test runner plugin. Ooh. Is that like where it runs the test in inline right here, so I don't have to run it over here. Maybe I should do that. There is like a way to have tests that run in the file. I think that actually is a vtest feature. And normally I really don't like that. But maybe in this case, inline. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to do that. It's fine. It's fine. We're going to just do these as two separate things. All right, so transitions to yada, yada, yada. So then we've got our loading model state. When we're in this state, on load model, target loading model, boom, that's going to pass the test. Awesome. Okay, great. Accumulates progress, updates during, okay, test. Send this. Yeah, it should be loading model. I need to subscribe so I can get those progress updates. So, and actually invariant, no. Because if the state, you want to avoid these kinds of things in tests. You want to avoid if statements if possible. So it's a bunny tail for sure. I love that visual, Josh. It is. So anyway, I think I want to bring in invariant and say that it should be loading model state. I should not be able to send progress now. Or actually, yes, I should. I should be able to send progress. And actually, if that's the case, I don't need to subscribe at all. Allows sending model load progress updates during loading. And no. I think I want to assert that we're still in the loading model state. There we go. Communicate. Those two should absolutely be the same. Okay. And actually, here's what we're going to do. It would be, that is, yeah, kind of interesting. All right, so let's build that out. So loading model on model load progress, we're going to assign the progress in the context to the event progress. Yeah, that I think, yeah, we need to add yeah, see, this is where it's really good for me to to write it myself so that I really understand how all these pieces work together, because I know there is like some level of duplication. So let's do export type chat event, and then here's our context. I think actually, yeah, I want model load progress. I was just thinking, should this model load progress be an object that has a status? So where the status could be loading. Yeah, like maybe it could be status loading or pending progress or what would you call progress? Percentage. Yeah, that we'll just call it progress. So it's model load progress dot progress. And then here we do send progress of 1 and success. That I think makes sense. Okay. So with that then, yep. Dot value. That is it. That is correct. Thank you. Value. Okay. And then the question is, how do I assign that in setup? Yeah, types. That's what I'm looking for. We don't have input yet, but we've got our events. This is complaining because oh, okay, yeah, we need yep, current model ID to be, there we go. And model load progress, event progress is less than 1, or is not equal to 1. And it's pending, otherwise success, I guess. Okay. Forgot to play stream beats? No, they're just really quiet. Somebody was complaining about them being too loud. Let me pump it up a little bit more. Boots and cats. No. Okay, very good. Okay, let's figure out what it's complaining about now. Context. Okay, yeah, that's what it needs. Context. Idle. Okay. And then the problem is the TypeScript doesn't, yeah, I didn't think that was how that worked. TypeScript doesn't know which event this is. It's not aware that it's only possible for this event to happen when load model happens, which is unfortunate. I feel like it should be smarter than that. And also, I think I should actually do that. I just remember being told that your create machine, it's better if it's serializable. And so put all the actions up here in setup and then reference them. I'm not sure that I believe that, but it promotes reusability, so maybe. Oh, it's assign bracket event. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Steve. Okay, so here's what we can do though. I can say invariant, and now it knows. Oh, okay. That's the model, or that's the event? Great. Let's make invariant event event type asserts. Yep. So then yeah, that's what I wanted. Chat event type. There we go. So then I can do this a little bit easier. Rats. I was hoping that that would work. Is type event type is type of type, maybe rats. The difference between the Epic Web version of invariant and tiny invariant is that tiny invariant does not give you the error in production. It will give it to you in development, but if it's in production, it just throws an error, and the message that you provide is not included. So that's super annoying. Yeah, that looks correct. So why is this? Not working. Yeah, you're not supposed to return an invariant or that on an assert. Okay. Let's just pull in the big guns here. Active tab. What is that? My invariant event does not seem to type narrow the event to the correct event type. What have I got wrong? That's cool. Yeah, we'll try that. Hey, that works. Hooray. So what did you do? Oh, the colors are different. Neat. Okay, so the event is a chat event. Oh. Huh. We're just making the generic. Oh, well, I suppose that makes sense. All right, there we go. That will make things a little bit easier. Okay, what are you complaining about? Oh, this needs to be a sign. Oh, nope. Is this just not returning the right value? Oh, because this is not, yeah, okay, fine. As const. Here we go. How do I say that it has failed? Not when we set progress. Whoa, what happened here? Yikes. Okay, so coming back here now. And actually here, I expect this should no longer be loading model, but ready. And I do like my test to be longer, so allows for loading or model load process or happy path. All right, so we say load the model and we give progress updates. We're still in loading model, then we give another progress update. We are in status success for our model load progress, and we are now in ready state. So come here. All right, so do we have types for our states as well? I don't think that we do. Yeah, it's just context events and input. And then we've got actions that we'll get to later. Okay, so let's do ready. And I'm not actually sure. Maybe I can't do model load progress. Okay. If model load progress is received and the progress given is 1, then we should set the progress value to 1, the status to success, and transition to the ready state. Let's see if that can do that. Is there an open source version of the workshop? Yes, all of the workshops are open source. Check out the Epic Web GitHub org on GitHub. You'll see all the workshops there. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, so we'll run that. They've changed a little bit of the UI. Yep, that makes sense. Okay, let's just make sure we understand all this stuff. Sweet, test passed. Yeah, we're already dealing with this though. I don't know what that could be, so we're gonna figure that out. Whoa, what are you doing? No, stop. Yeah, just stop. We don't need that test. We're testing this already in the previous. Yeah, we don't need that test either. Okay. So let's model load happy path. Let's see what it did. So when loading on, then we guard. And if this doesn't apply, so our target is not, yep. That is great. Okay, so we got to figure out what is up with this. Why is this hanging? This doesn't make sense, and it happens every time. So we're going to test only simple Okay, so if I comment all this stuff out, well, that is supremely interesting. I think that's probably a v-test bug. See if there are any updates. Oh, we got v7. I wonder if that's going to break everything. Let me first go to chat old. Okay, so this is still running. Then if I say install all the latest, including v7 first, can I run tests? Yeah, so that didn't change anything with the tests hanging out, which is really annoying. I don't want to have to debug that, but what's really annoying is that every time the AI runs the test, it has to wait for that before it can process the output. So that's really annoying. I wonder if I could have it run in watch mode and then move it to the background and have it just, if that would work. Oh well. Actually, yeah, let's run the server. Okay, good. That's still working. Cool. So we're just gonna not worry about that, I guess. I'm gonna have it, I like to have my tests be more about longer happy path workflows. They don't have to be super long, but I think a couple of your test outlines could be combined. Could you combine some of those, please? Yeah. Okay, so we've got model, loading, happy path, and then we're in the ready state. Test, model load failure. Why is this crossed out? Yeah, okay. So we make the machine, we start it up, we send load model, expect it to be loading model. We have model load progress. I think we should probably have an event for model load error. And then state to be idle. I think that makes the most sense with the context having an error. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, from there you go from where you were with idle state. So let's move that over. Okay. Yeah, model load progress. I think in this case. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we don't need. Yeah, value. Let's do 0. I think that makes the most sense. So what are we complaining about here? Oh, right. Ugh. Interesting. I was just wondering if there was a way to find out who it was that sent the error, or the event, so that I could track down where events are coming from. Okay, let's try this. Is there a way to add a general event handler that handles all events? At the root. Yep, that's what I wanted. I wanted a logger. Cool. Okay, don't want to keep that one, but the rest of this I do want to keep. We want our event and context. Okay, sweet. That'll be really noisy in here, so we're gonna disable it. Let's see. Logging. Log level. Kind of feel like different events will be a different level of verbosity. I'm trying to think the easiest way to do that. Log levels is a record of chat event types. Yep, there we go. Yep. Yeah, we'll call this event log levels, and we'll call this log levels debug 0. Yeah, all that. Okay, and then we've got if the, let's see, log level the current log level is less than oh yeah, so this is the event log level. Current log level. There we go. There we go. Oops. Okay, now that reads a little bit nicer. So if the event log level number is less than the current log level number. So if we say error, I think we need to actually do this the other way. So for the, if the current log level is info, so I would only want things that are info, and we get a load model, that's a debug. We should not get that logged. So debug being 0, info is 1. Debug being the event log, so 0 and 1. Why is this so hard for my brain to figure out? If the event log level is greater than or equal to the current log level, then we log it. Yep, okay. And as far as what the log level should be, I like satisfies for this type of thing better. I don't know how to spell satisfies. See, because then it's got that, and that like looks a lot better. I'm gonna stick that up here. Right here, actually. Yeah, so this would be an info thing, and this would be debug for sure. That would be error. Okay, great. So and I think if is there a console.debug? Huh. Wonder what that does. Event log level. That's neat. What does console debug do? I'm pretty sure I've used it before. Console debug. Hi. Well, okay. Maybe that's verbose. Ah. Well, that's interesting. Huh. I mean, maybe I just don't have my own log level. I think that could get really annoying. So yeah, we're gonna have our own log level. But I think instead of debug, say log function. No. Let's do event log level debug log. Otherwise, event log level. There we go. Hey. Yeah. That's what we're gonna do. I think it's kind of stupid. Let's just do log. No, debug makes more sense. We will do weird things inside the implementation so that we don't have to do weird things outside. Okay, great. We got the error. Haha. Nice. Okay. Let's do test log level. Before each, we're gonna actually vtest. I think already, yeah, restore mocks, so we don't need to do that. Nope, wrong. Before each. There we go. I do want. Ooh, I wonder, did they ever add this log on console log? Ooh. Okay, let's look at what vtest has for logs now. Vtest log. Yeah. That's useful, but I want to be able to assert on console log. So we're gonna say Epic Stack has a really good setup for this. Setup, we're gonna use the setup for that. Yep, okay. We're gonna do something similar. Come on. Before each from vtest. What? Why is this so hard? I kind of want to throw an error just like these, because I really don't want logs to show up in my output of my tests. Okay, vt config setup, and so I want to clear that output, but whatever. That standard error should be, yeah, console error called. Yep, okay, good. Okay, super. Probably the easier way to do this. Yeah, let's just do console.error. Actually, console error. Can I import that? Let's do export or No, imports. Here, where's the epic stack? There we go. Yes, this should be tests. And then our config. Where are you? Here we go. Include that, and then our paths need to be this. Okay, great. So with this, then I should be able to console error. Oh man. Import. Let's restart TS. Twitch page shows the video was canceled. I don't know. I don't think I can fix that midstream. Whoops. What do these buttons do? Go to dashboard. No, that's not going to do it either. I can edit the description. Yeah, I can't do anything at this point. Stream's already started. I'm not stopping it just for Twitch. Besides, Twitch is where I get most of my spam, so I don't care about Twitch. Okay, we don't need the before each anymore because that's handled by our setup. Yep, this is now resolving properly. Hooray! Oh, thank you. All right, awesome. And so now I can say console log, or in this case, it's console error, mock implementation, and then expect console error to have been called, yeah, with Steph. Yeah, I think I don't really care the specifics of what it's called with. Times once. Just expect it to be called. And here, I think we can have inputs. Let's see how the input stuff works on the old one. Inputs. That's input as initial messages, and then what is that used for? Create machine, context, input. All right. Initial message. We'll go with initial log level, and then down here. Now I know earlier I said this should be serializable, but I'm not sure if there's a way to do that. Yeah. Yeah, and it doesn't bother me so much. Yep, okay, cool. So then we come over here, initial log level debug. Oh, let's also make it so that is or undefined. Now we're talking. Yep, perfect. Come back over here. Do I have to? I guess you have to. I kind of want to make it so I don't have to specify it at all. I'm not sure if there's a way to do that. I wonder if I can do this. Yeah, it's not happy with that. Yeah, okay, fine. We'll just, you have to provide an input. Okay, let's see where we're at. Failure, strictly equal, object status value. Okay, so down here, status and value. Yeah, that's actually, yeah, that's correct. Okay, so status got set to idle somehow. Model error, status error, and then last error got set to that. I think I kind of want the error to be an object that has message, stack, maybe, and cause, or maybe source. And then actually this. Or unknown. We can just call model load error. Okay, so what are you complaining about now? Oh, I'll betcha it's this. No. There we go. That should do it. That way if they add a cause, then we can use that. Okay. That's helpful. So coming back over here. And let's say, hold on, doesn't this accept, yeah, it accepts options, cause. And then error stack. It's all referencing that stuff. All right. I'm still not sure why we're getting status idle, so let's figure that out. Hmm. We initialize model load progress to idle. There's no async thing going on here, right? I send this load error. Oh, I know why. We're in the, hold on. Loading model state. And we don't have, haha, that's state machines for you right there. I actually love it. I think actually we should, I think that's probably it, yeah. There we go, that test will pass. No! Expected console error to be called, but it was not. That's interesting because I have this log all events thing. Am I just not saying these things? Oh. Okay, that is showing up. Yeah, okay. So, log all events is just not getting called on everything. It should be getting called. I can see the issue. Well, I'm not sure I want to test for this, but I guess so. Yeah, go ahead and run it. I think I'm going to delete this test though. There we go. Okay, stop. Undo everything. Now I know how that's supposed to work. What? Aw, man. Is that not how that was supposed to work? What did it change it to? Oh, it just added it to all of them. Yeah, rats. I don't want to have to do that. Xstate. This doesn't matter that much, but it would be nice, especially when I'm in the browser. Like, okay, what events are happening? Transitions. Do they have like a browser extension? I feel like that would be kind of useful. There we go. Try that on for size. Boom, there we go. Beautiful. Okay, we should be getting an error for that. Oh, we don't have an info thing. Test setup. There we go. Now we're going to get an error. I'm going to say initial log level is, let's add a log level of none. This will be 1, 2, 3, 4, none. Or we could call it silent. I think that would make more sense. Silent. Yep, I think that makes more sense. And then our default can be silent. Yep. All right. I'm kind of confused. Oh, hold on. Yeah, silent should actually be 5. Well, yeah, 0, 4. There we go. That's better. So, good. Expected an error to be called once, but it was not called, and that is because we default this. I wonder if our default should actually be error. That actually seems to make more sense. And then the rest of these we can have, let's make a function setup actor. Why is this complaining? Oh, make this work with chat machine specifically. I think that, no, rats. Kind of hope that would work. No. There's got to be a way to do this. I want the input to be the parameters of create actor when create machine is passed to create actor. I want it to be generic so that I don't have to keep this up to date as the input parameters of chat machine changes. That work? Magic. Parameters, type of create act. Did I not do that? Maybe I moved this to the other side of that bracket or something. I don't know. Okay, cool. So the default here, though, I want the initial log level. Here, we're gonna do this. Input initial log. Oh, hold on. Let's. Oh, args. Input. There we go. There we go. So we can default it to silent and then set up actor. Cool. Nice. Okay. New keyboard with tab being the side of the space. Yeah, that would be an interesting change. I'm pretty happy with where tab is. Okay, and oh yeah, this is saying we don't need that. Okay, that makes sense. Now, here's the question. With Xstate version 5, do I need to stop the actor when running tests, or can I just start the actor and not worry about stopping it? Will it leave any open event handlers or anything if I don't stop the actor? I think the answer is you need to stop the actor. Because when we have like cleanups and stuff. Yeah, yep. Okay, cool. So we're going to return an object that has the actor, but also a symbol dispose to stop the actor. And actually, is this async? Returns this. Okay, so then we say using setup actor from setup. There we go. So that way we get automatic cleanup. It's magic. Beautiful. Let's make sure that that actually does work. Oh, it's going to blow up because we have output. Cool. Kind of feel like I should make that async so that if there's like async things that need to be stopped or something, but yeah. Hi, GitCoder. All right. Super. Here, let's take a look at All right, loads models, transitions from idle to loading to ready. We got that. Okay, queues messages while waiting for model and process them when ready. All right, that's the next thing. Test that. All right, so here we're gonna make a setup actor with model. Yep, that's, you got it. This is interesting. This kind of annoys me, having to do using and then this const actor. I could do setup disposable or create disposable actor. And I'm gonna do, oops. Yeah. Actor args. There we go. So then our setup actor can simply say create disposable actor. Passing args. And actually, I wonder if I can do actor started state. What happens if you stop an actor that hasn't started? We might find out. Using disposable. There we go. Cool. And then we can just return the actor. That's nice. So all these guys can just be const actor. Awesome. And then this const actor. Beautiful. Okay, and then set up actor with model. This is going to be async. And we're going to grab wait for and create deferred. Utils ts, stick those in here. I think we actually don't need to wait for anything because we're sending all these messages. We might need it later when loading the model actually. I'm not sure how we're going to test the actions. Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So we'll just delete this for, well, we'll leave it there. It's fine. Okay, so We actually, yeah, right now we still need to have the model not be ready right away. So we'll set up our actor. Oh, let's double check. We are not. Yeah, okay, that makes sense because we're defaulting to that. Yeah, that is better. All right, I would expect one test to fail, but the rest of these are all failing because we are logging. Sent to stopped actor. Oh. Oh, rats. So this disposable thing didn't work the way I thought. The using does have to happen inside the test. Rats. Yeah, and the reason is because the disposable actor isn't the thing that's returned. That's what's going on. Well, that's too bad. We have to return the whole object that includes the dispose. Yep, that's why. Okay, that's too bad. So then we are going to have and then we got to return the disposable or we'll just call it the disposable. Or call it the setup. Yep, I gotta do it all to all these. And that's because the cleanup happens when setup is cleaned up. That's what's going on. Okay, so now we'll have that. Send message is fine. I think instead of send message, we're going to call it queue message or add message. And then we'll add 2 messages. Message 1 and 2, and then progress. Kind of feel funny about saying model load progress 1, meaning that it's finished. I kind of feel like we should have an event for model load finished. So please change the test so that instead of model load progress 1, meaning that it's finished, instead we have a specific event for model load finish. Model load finished. Yeah. Yep. That's much better. Yep, keep that. And okay. So awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna have you stop right there. You helped plenty. So now we're actually not going to go to a ready state. We're going to be going to a processing or a generating state. Okay. So we're still loading the model. Then we finish, and now we're going to generating. And actually at this point, we're going to have queued messages. So yeah, then we have these messages after when we're in the generating. Once it's finished, then it transitions to generating, and the queued messages are added to the messages. And then once, yeah, we'll just go from there. Moves them to messages once model has loaded, and moves to generating state. Okay, cool. So bring this over. Current test, here we are. So once on model load finished, we're going to have guard. Let's see. We can have guards up here, right? No, so this is has queued messages. I think user messages should be, yeah, queued messages should be user messages. Array of, you know what, let's just do any message. Okay. That has queued messages. Then we come down here. And we say, guard has queued messages, then generating and process queued messages. We're going to assign queued messages to, here, let's just do messages, assign to okay, good. All right. And then we need add message. So I think in any state, I want to be able to add messages. Okay, let's add that. Very good. Okay. So if we, depending on the state that we're in, we might be able to queue messages or process messages right away. So I kind of feel like maybe we need an add queued message. Yeah. So I don't think that we can say on add message here. Although we probably could say, depending on the order, we might be able to say, okay, yeah, just anytime it's add message, we process that. And then in substates, we have a process queued messages. Okay. So if I say add message here, then actions, process, queued messages. When I am in the ready state and the event add message is sent, which of the actions will happen first? I believe process queued messages and add message should both run, but I'm not sure which runs first. And I guess I could add a test for this, but okay, hold on. You're getting ahead of yourself here. That's good. All right, stop. That was the information I needed. Let's undo all this stuff. So, anytime you can add a message, yeah, to queue, we're gonna do that. And then when we're in a ready state, if we add a message, then we'll process the queued messages. And that takes them from the queue to the message. So I think this is actually I actually think instead of this, we should say entry process queued messages. And then, yeah, that makes a lot more sense. So anytime we enter the ready state, if there are messages in the queue, move them to messages, and then we need to transition to generating. And on add message, we're not going to add it to the queue or process those right away. We will allow users to interrupt later, but I'm just kind of concerned about process queued messages. This is, I need to understand once messages have been moved over, how do I kick off the action? So I need an action or an actor. That is generate. Okay, I'm gonna cheat really quick. So our model loader is actually good. Let's just grab that. Or yeah, I like calling it model loader. Chat. The actor. What would you call the actor that generates tokens? Token generator or generator. Yeah. Okay. So want to understand that. Okay. So yeah, we take our input. I think there should be a I'm gonna need to look at an old version. Yeah, here we go. So you do get a send back. Okay. Input system self signal. Okay, so I think I actually want self. And there's a signal. That's good. Emit. What does emit do? Maybe that's what I want. this is what I want. Didn't quite give me what I wanted. I wanted to see self and emit. What is the difference between emit and self.send? That is the question I have. Okay, well, we'll see. What if I change? Hold on. Okay, so the first argument is what it resolves to. Ours resolves to a MLC engine. We expect that. Okay, so then we shouldn't have to define this because that input should be typed. And then we should also get, yeah, self and signal. Self.send. Yep, there we go. Yep. And emit. What does emit do? Emit. Hi. Okay. So emit. No. Okay. So I don't know what emit does, but I don't want it. Signal. How do I don't think dynamic imports can accept a signal. Signal? Nope. No signal on this. That would be really nice because this does take some time. Let's see if there's a way to cancel. They do have docs. Oops. Cancel. All right, let's go to their GitHub and ask. I always spell signal wrong or type it wrong. Cancellation. Nope. Yeah. Okay, unload it at least. All right, so does unload remove it from the cache? Embeddings? What? I can make embeddings? Oh, that'll be really interesting for the search engine. That is cool. Man, we'll have to explore that later. Okay, so signal dot add event listener. Engine promise. Let engine unload engine. Nope. All right, there we go. So we'll add an abort listener to the signal, and then engine promise will set the engine. And finally, we'll remove the event listener. So we can cancel. I think we're going to do it this way instead. So we've got our engine. Here's how we handle all that, and then set our engine. Cool. All right, that's neat. We've got our progress stuff. So all of this stuff, I will have to figure out some way to test, but we cannot test this ourselves. It just does not work in the context that we're running this in. It's got to run in the browser, and it's really slow. So say machine with actor definition with mocked actors. Chat machine machine provide model loader. Yeah, to do. And this is actually actors. What are you complaining about? Oh, we're not returning as that. There we go. Okay, kind of got distracted from our core test here. So let's finish up with the objective. Yeah, so add message. Takes a message. And so this is complaining because yeah, so we want our thing to generate the ID and timestamp. So really, I think actually we should only be able to add messages, content string. Should only be able to do that. And then when the message is added, it's going to be role of user. Yep. That is what I think makes the most sense. And so then this can just be, we'll call these content 1 and content 2. Okay, cool. I kind of expect that to pass. All right, fine. It was ready. So model load finished. Target ready. And then on entry, we need to transition to generating if there are messages in the queue. The question is, maybe when we transition into generating, we'll maybe we say if we're entering ready and there are messages in the queue, transition over generating. Then generating moves messages from the queue into main messages and then starts generating. I think that makes the most sense. But does that mean that we can only do a generation if there are messages in the queue? Is that a problem? I don't know. Let's think about tool calls. When a tool call is resolved, we stick it in the queue. I think I don't want to say you can only do a generation if there are messages in the queue, because let's say we start a generation, we move all the messages to the messages, from the queue to the messages, and then the generation fails. I want to be able to retry without having to move things back and forth. So I think move queued messages is probably what this should be. And here, I think I want a guard. Can I do a guard? No? I cannot do a guard on entry. Let's learn more about entry. Okay, yeah, we're moving on into other stuff. So it's really just this section that's talking about entry. I think we could have an action that is like maybe it's handle queued messages, or process. Yeah, I think it should be process queued messages. Oops. And then here we're gonna say, if there are no messages, then return. Otherwise, we are going to say, hold on, can I get, okay, good. No, so we need to be able to get into generating from ready. Okay, so we moved them over. Type start generation. Yeah, right there. That's kind of what I wish that they had done. Well, maybe. I kind of wish that I could have these different events be associated to the states that they are allowed to be in. And then our event handling, we wouldn't need this invariant event stuff. Maybe? I don't know. That'd be really hard, I guess. Okay, so we start generation. And so we need to handle that. Okay, so then in here, entry start generation. And start generation will invoke. Actually, I think we can just do invoke. Yeah. I'm kind of getting ahead of my skis here on the tests. Yeah, the tests are passing. We should probably write another test. Sorry, I just got distracted. Okay, none of this is critically important. Okay, input. Kind of feel like there's a better way to do this. Output. How did I do this before? Actually, before. There it is. There we go. So, create engine. Yeah, I think that makes sense on entry. Okay, and I think all this is going to be basically the same. So yeah, we need engine config and chat ops. No. And this should be actually the oh, come on. Derive the inputs from the chat event properties for load model. Programmatically, do not hard code it. Yeah, there we go. That's what I wanted. Omit type. What? No. I think I just need omit type. There we go. So then input just gets those. Sweet. So then down here, there you go. Beautiful. Any cursor rules? I do not have any cursor rules. Maybe my life could be easier if I did, but I don't. Okay, so when we're finished loading the model, then we can go into ready, and ready will decide if we go straight into generating from there. So we don't need to have this. We're gonna go into ready. We need to, there's somebody at the door. Hold on, I'm not sure if the family is here. I'm not sure if I need this, so I'll be right back. Give me just a moment. Yeah, see you in a sec. Okay, all is well. So I feel like on done, I should be able to have the output. That's what I want. On done. Here we go. There we go. Event output. That's what we're looking for. On done. Target there. Actions. Event. And then we want, actually this is just to assign engine output. Oh, snap. That's all type safe and all that. Oh, nice. See, if I were to say hi, it would not be happy, but it's happy with this. Oh, I'm very happy with that also. Thank you. Cool. Okay, good. So we're gonna run the action, and then we're gonna go to onReady. Beautiful. And then in the error case, target is, I don't think we have an error state. But you know what? I think we should have an error state. In an error state, maybe we go to idle. Yeah. And you can only load the model out of idle state. Kind of feel like that's not quite right, but this is unknown. All right, let's go utils ts get error message. Boom. Man, it's always in my clipboard, just right there. Oh, right, yeah. Oh man, that's not a thing yet? Fine. Okay, so the cause is model load error. Right? What's wrong with this? There we go. Okay. So start an idle, go to loading. We reset the model load progress. We invoke the model loader. The model loader, man, that yeah, let's try this. That looks a little bit better. Yeah, we'll get to that. Okay, cool. This guy sends model load progress. That is great. And then while we're in loading model state on model load progress, we don't have these anymore. We just have these. And so before we set the model load finished and stuff, now we don't need to do that. Yeah, there we go. This Eric is XState. Yeah, this is a React app, but not looking at too much React right now. Okay, let's see where we're at test-wise. Are we all of our tests are breaking? All right, this is good. This is why we have tests. We expected it to be, oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense, because we got rid of model load finished. Yep. I think actually having fewer events is nice. So, okay. Get rid of that and that. So to accomplish this now, we have to have I guess we trigger loading model and then we wait for expect actor, to be ready. And now these are async tests. Okay, yeah, so this is where things get kind of tricky. We need our actor, I need to be able to, actor, Yeah, okay, how do we get that? Type chat machine actor this would be no. Yep. Boom. Magic. So then we gotta fix all these. Yeah, what do we call this? Create actor, second argument is options. I'm not familiar with that. Yeah, actor options. Okay, so then we come down here. Oh, and this can default. There we go. That'll be nice. Cool. Okay, great. So that means that when we're testing the failure path, I can override actors, model loader. There we go. Okay, let's try that. Okay. Expected ready to be idle. So somehow it ended up in the ready state. Why are you complaining? Oh, I didn't actually throw the error. Okay, still. Oh, hold on. Oh, it timed out. I think this stack will work that way. There it is, timeout. I actually almost never do TDD, but this is one situation where it's complex enough. I feel like it makes sense to do test-driven development here. Okay, so why does it never become idle? Ooh, history value. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that'll be helpful. Interesting. Well, that's definitely not what I expected. What if we do this? Start it right here. Wait, promise. Every millisecond. Okay, maybe every, yeah, 10 milliseconds. All right. Huh. Idle and then ready. Somehow it got to ready. All right. So I should have checked this sooner. Model loader called. I should get rid of all this noise. All right. Yeah, it's never called, which means, oh, ha, I'm not doing anything with the actors. Oh, brother. All right. Okay, mock model loader called now. That's good. Expected status idle to strictly equal. So I received error expected idle. Now that is actually unexpected. I would have expected that I expected that. Model progress. So somehow when we finished, so on error, we want to go to idle, and when we go to idle, we don't have anything going on. Yeah, so last error. Oh, we need another action, or another assignment. Model progress. There we go. Ha. Yep, okay, good. So then we just get rid of this log, I think, and that will fix it. Expected error to be called. Oh, right, we got rid of that error. I kind of do want the error to be called. I think what we'll do instead, maybe we have an entry Our logs are just for transitions. But if we go to idle because of an error, I think I do want to have an error. Okay, we'll just do this. We're wasting too much time. Console.error. Yep, we'll just call that good. Okay. Oh, haha. Yeah, that will not happen because we are mocking it. So, yeah, that actually means we can get rid of this. Okay, great. So then, here we're trying to, what are we trying to do? Queue messages before the model has been loaded. There we go. Okay, we're back. Man, I'm glad we had those tests. Okay, let's see where we're at with the tests that need to be done still. So queues messages while waiting for model, processes a queued message, and transitions from ready. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's right. So we don't actually go, how do we want to do this? So once we have our messages, then we go into a state where we're searching for appropriate tools. And then from there we go to actually doing generation. Okay, so maybe I should take a break for lunch, actually. I do feel a lot better about things now because I feel like I understand it. I need an MCP tool for ordering lunch. Hey, it looks like Twitch is working again. That's nice. Yeah, I think I need to go eat. Messages match. should be moved. Yep. But I need to figure out, it almost seems like a sub actor that's responsible for generating stuff, like a child machine. Parent to child transitions. Because it's like, we're in this generating state, and a bunch can happen in this state that we don't necessarily need in the rest of our state. Or do we? Is it a unnecessary boundary? I don't think I have like a parallel states thing here. But conceptually, like, if I were to draw a box, I would have, for like each thing that happens, we have, here's our initial, and then we have loading the model, and then we have users typing and submits a message. So like ready state, ready to accept messages. And then we have generating content. And within that is searching for the relevant tools and then generating the content for those relevant tools. And once that's all done, then we're back in this ready state. And if there was a tool call, that ready state, the user can approve a tool. Huh. I don't know. Maybe I'll know better after I'm finished eating lunch. So I'm gonna go do that, and then I'll probably stream some more. See ya.